Hello and welcome to Matt's Reloading Bench. Today I'm out at the range. It's about 24 degrees out. Going to be doing some 5-shot groups with my Seekins Havak hit in 6.5 PRC. In my previous video in this series, I loaded up a 10-shot ladder test and the weather was less than ideal, so I had to wait. I finally had decent weather last weekend, so I headed out and I shot the 10 shots. This graph shows what I had for muzzle velocity with each of those 10 shots, and I will be loading up 56.4 to 56.6 grains of powder due to the fact that there was only an 8 foot per second difference in that range. I would like to have had a wider range, but this is what I have to work with. So I will go ahead and shoot 5-shot groups for 1/10 of grain increments in that range. Let's see what we get. This first group is going to be at 56.4 grains of powder. At 56.4 grains of powder, I had a group size of 0.72 MOA with a mean radius of 0.22 MOA. The average muzzle velocity was 2,840 with an extreme spread of 25.04 and a standard deviation of 10.31. This 5-shot group is going to be with 56.5 grains of powder. This 5-shot group is 0.37 MOA with a mean radius of 0.13 MOA. The average muzzle velocity was 2,870 with an extreme spread of 52.36 and a standard deviation of 18.93. This 5-shot group is with 56.6 grains of powder. At 56.6 grains of Reloader 25, I had a group size of 0.42 MOA with a mean radius of 0.2 MOA. The average muzzle velocity was 2878 feet per second with an extreme spread of 23.44 and a standard deviation of 8.59. So after looking at those 3 5-shot groups, the group sizes themselves I'm very satisfied with. Unfortunately, the data off of the lab radar is worse than what I expected it to be. What I mean by that is, so for 56.4 and 56.6 grains of powder, I'm happy with those results. They're not terrible. They're not the best I've ever had by far, but they're not terrible. The part that I don't like is the middle of the road at 56.5 grains of powder. There was a pretty big spike in extreme spread and standard deviation, and I just don't feel comfortable with that. To me, that leaves way too much room for variances. It doesn't mean a whole lot at 100 yards, as you can tell with the shot groups that I had, but where it makes a big difference is at a mile. And at a mile, a difference between 52 feet per second is a lot. And you know, you're talking 20 plus inches of difference at a mile, and that can make or break the fact of whether or not you are able to even get on target or stay on target from shot to shot. So I was reanalyzing the ladder test that I did, And I kind of wish I would have realized this from the get-go, but between 55.4 and 55.8 grains of powder, there's only a 13 foot per second difference over a 5/10 of a grain span. So with that being said, I am going to redo my 5-shot group test in that variance. So I will be having another video coming out shortly where I will be shooting 5-shot groups between 55.4 and 55.8 grains of powder. Unfortunately, the spread that I decided to use for this video just didn't work out, but that's something that's going to happen. You know, not everything turns out perfect the first time around. That's why it's called testing, and it's not always going to be on the first try. You might have to work with a couple of different ranges of powder, and you know, sometimes you will have to work lower in muzzle velocity than what you would prefer to, but I would much rather have good groups with good extreme spread and standard deviation at a lower muzzle velocity than try and reach that higher muzzle velocity and have a little bit of wonky data. So like I said before, I'm going to be making another video between that 55.4 grain and 55.8 grain range. Look forward to seeing that in the next couple of weeks coming up. If you have any questions about this video, please let me know in the comments section below. Also, hit that thumbs up so that YouTube knows that you like my videos. And subscribe to my channel and hit that bell icon so that you can be notified when my next video does come out. And until next time, shoot straight and be safe.